Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here on at 7:30 in the evening. I know it's been a hectic day for most of us. Since the working day, most of us are working, all of us are working, and we come from the work or from other activities or other meetings. So it's very important that once you are here, it shows that it's your commitment. Before we proceed to our formalities, I request everyone to please observe 1 minute silence. We just got a news yesterday. Our own district PRN, he lost his mother and he traveled to India for the formalities. I request our admin manager to remind us once the 1 minute is over, so we can proceed with the formalities of this meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Didi. Good evening to everyone. I am Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar Pal, your Sergeant at Arms for today's special meeting, and it is my honor to officially open this gathering where knowledge, experience, and inspiration will take the center stage. I will read out the club district missions. We build new clubs and support all the clubs in achieving excellence. Today, we are privileged to host a powerful and insightful panel discussion featuring none other than our past District 20 Club Growth Directors. These are the leaders who not only envisioned the growth, but also turn it into reality. In fact, if growth were a business, they would be the billionaires of District 20. This panel will dive into the very heartbeat of the Toastmasters growth and with insight on, I'm not going to describe what is the insight to this panel. That privilege will take the panel moderator, District Director DTM Khalid. So I can say what a golden opportunity we have today to hear directly from those who drove the engine of progress across our district. And before we begin, just a few gentle reminders. Please keep your mobile phone on silent if you're not yet done, unless, of course, you are calling a friend to join Toastmasters right now, then we will allow it. Let's respect our speakers by keeping interruptions to a minimum. Remember, panel discussions are about asking the questions, not giving the evaluations. And most importantly, let's participate with energy, because the more you give, the more you grow. Now, it is my privilege to declare this meeting officially open, and let me give a round of applause to welcome panel moderator, none other than our District 20 Director, DTM Khalid Jalal. All yours.
Thank you very much, Admin Manager, for this great opening. Fellow members and guests, why we have this meeting today, why we have Coffee with KJ, is very simple. Coffee with KJ means I wanted all of you to come and meet me in this meeting and with my panel members. And especially this meeting is organized to bring the knowledge and experience which we have within District 20. Sometimes we take the role, time passes, we are not heard, we don't come in forward, or we don't get opportunity to share our experiences. Sometimes we do it at the club level or different level, but not at the district level together. So I thought, why not bring all expertise in one place, ask them their ideas, their vision, the challenges they have gone through in terms of the strategy, the vision they have prepared at that time. I know it was a pre-COVID era. Now we had a COVID era, then we have post-COVID era, and how it has affected the recruitment and the retention of the members. Did they face the same challenges we are facing today? Are we different than what they have seen in their time? Or do they see something different happening in this term or in this current era which is going on? How is the eagerness or the interest or the challenges of chartering clubs? Sometimes we hear we have enough clubs, no need to charter more clubs, let's maintain the existing clubs. Is that something we need to focus on? Or actually, if we follow our district mission, it says we build new clubs. So we'll talk about that as well, that aspect. Still, at the time, we're having our coffee in between. So we'll have a coffee. It's absolutely allowed at any time you can have your coffee in between. We also touch base about the experiences they have gone through. I'll not say the methods and what is approved, not approved, what TI says, what is the TI policy. We are not going to talk about that, but we talk about what experience they have gone through for fundraising, how they manage the finances, how they had great events in the past. We always hear from the past leaders. Open houses, we always say every year, go and conduct some open houses, get some more members, conduct open houses to charter a club, make speechcraft to generate some revenue for your club, and so on, right? And the important is, what are the mentors doing? What is the role of the mentors? Why do we need mentors? Do the mentors know why they're mentoring? Do the mentees know what the mentor is mentoring them for, right? So we will be talking about the current and past experiences. If you have any questions, write them down. We'll have a Q&A session, and all your questions will be addressed by our panel members. So I will request our admin manager to spotlight as and when I introduce our panel member, so that we have all the panel members towards the end spotlighted on the screen. So let me invite the first panel member, DTM Syed Abbas Al-Alawi. Syed Abbas, he joined Toastmaster in 2005, and he became the club growth director during the term 2017-18, and he achieved his DTM in 2015. Of course, as a DTM, past division director, area director, all the roles he's performed. And throughout this journey, he has chartered various clubs, supported various clubs, and he's still supporting various clubs whenever there's a need. And when I ask his motto in his life, he say, you add value to people when you value them. Amazing motto. Thank you very much, DTM Syed Abbas, for your time being with us as our panel member. Going next, I'd like to invite DTM Alka Kumra. DTM Alka Kumra is in Toastmaster for past 13 years. It's almost age of my youngest child. She's an MBA in finance and MPhil qualified, a financial consultant and a past banker for 25 years. She spent her time in India, in Bahrain, and in Kuwait, in District 20. So she knows what Bahrain experience was. She knows Kuwait experience. And of course, she has overall district experience because she was the past club growth director during the term 2019 and 20, when I was the area director for the first time in District 20. She's passionate about spreading the knowledge, the benefit of Toastmasters to everyone through open houses, YLPs, and other programs which Toastmasters offer. And she's a big fan and a supporter of Gables Club in Kuwait as well. And her favorite quote, she says, you rise by lifting others. And that's what we do in Toastmasters. We help others to rise because there's someone who helped us to rise to the level we are today. Thank you very much, DTM Alka Kumara, for being with us today. Is DTM Muhammad Salim in the house?
Yes, please. Yes.
Here? Okay, thank you.
Yes, he's here.
DTM Muhammad Salim, he is our past District 20 director and the past program quality director and club growth director. He's a great mentor and a trainer. He has trained many individuals whenever they have approached him for various level of contest and competitions. He has performed various leadership roles, and just like our DTM Malka, DTM Al Salim is also a big supporter of all the Gavels and Gavel clubs, in addition to the Toastmaster individuals. And currently, he is Area 3 Director in Division C. He is extending his support to the clubs in that area. Welcome, DTM Al Salim.
Thank you. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. Last but not the least, a person who always confuse their name with my name. A person who always, people get confused sending email to him, they send it to me. We have spent a term where I was CGD and he was a PQD. Unbelievable exchange of emails, not between us, but from other people to us. He's the one who everyone has recognized as his sergeant at arm, because he took on him that any contest, he will be sergeant at arm, and he's still doing that. And currently he is part of District 20 as the Corporate Club Affairs Committee Chair for District 20. Thank you very much, DTM Khalid Jalal, for being with us. Let's go to the main purpose, why we want to have some coffee together. So in the beginning, we spoke about, we'll talk about the strategy, the vision, the fundraising, the mentorship, and all those. So let me start with the strategy part of our discussion, and let me hear the experiences of our panel members. So we always say ladies first, so we'll start with DTM Alka, with your permission.
Please.
You, Alka.
Thank you.
Thank you. DTM Alka, what was your experience in terms of the strategy for members recruitment during the term when you were CGD?
Thank you, District Director DTM Khalid Jalal, for including me in this wonderful panel discussion, first of all.
We can have my coffee more.
Yes, we can have it. But I would say, I think the strategy of every club growth director revolves around the district mission. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. So it has to be a two-pronged strategy where we charter new clubs as well as we support existing clubs. So that was my strategy as well, to support existing clubs as well as new clubs. However, if I were to personally speak about what my strategy focus was, I was focusing more on retention rather than recruitment, because some of you might have read that Toastmasters magazine article also, is your bucket leaking? So the bucket here is the membership. And as they say, recruiting new members is more difficult than retaining old ones. If you look at all the Smedley distinguished districts, you will find their retention rates are more than 75–80%. And that's how they achieve the status. So my strategy revolved around both. And that's why one of my taglines that year was 20 out of 20 in year 2020. That was my tagline, which is now in fact become a requirement for being a President Distinguished Club by Toastmasters International. So that's where the strategy revolved. And I was having several awards and lots of initiatives focused on that only, that we retain members as much as we recruit new members. Back to you.
Thank you, Diti Malka. Yeah, that's exactly true, because if the bucket is leaking, definitely no matter how much you pour water, the water will not be enough there, right? So similarly, the members are leaving the club. No matter how many members you add, the requirement will never be met. Thank you very much. And yes, I still remember the 2020 because I was the area director and I had to go through that challenge as well. In the interest of everyone's benefit, we have agreed that we'll have 1 to 2 minutes for each answer, but we can go up to 3 minutes if the answer would be longer. And accordingly, we have informed our timer, so the timer will take care of that. Just to recall our timing criteria. So we say we start with the ladies. So we already asked our questions from ladies. Now, gentlemen, let me go into the order. I'll go to DTM Sayed Abbas, since he already had a sip of his coffee. Sayed, you were a club growth director, and we know your contribution, but there's so many new individuals who have not seen you as CGD. Maybe they have not heard about you. Today is a good opportunity. They see you, they can hear you. In Toastmaster, we always have some metrics and measurements. So what metrics or indicators did you use to measure the success of a CGD or of a district in your tenure? You can unmute.
Yes, DTM Khalid, District Director. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation, for the coffee. It was indeed a great opportunity to meet all the friends, new friends, those who I did not meet for so long. Being a club growth director, 2017, 2018, quite long time, almost. Maybe DTM Khalid can do the math. Maybe it's almost now 8 years. 8 years. So you gave me, first of all, a very hard time to refresh my own memories. But to go back on Toastmasters, the beauty of Toastmasters, whether you are a member or district director or and above, the beauty of Toastmasters, there is a guidelines on whatever you do. And when you are a member of Trio, so it is a good opportunity also to, I remember my Trio, DTM Muhammad Makhlouf and DTM Rajeshwars, which I get a good support being a group of a Trio. So to go back to your question, what's the metrics being followed? The metrics already embedded in Toastmasters organization, the vision and mission. So we targeted the growth, as by the title of Club Growth Director, you targeted the growth of the district. And of course, the growth also of the members. So the number of, obviously the number of clubs is one of the metrics that we followed and measure our achievements. The number of members, now we know members flow in and flow out for a reason or another. And this is duty of the club growth director and all the team to do the thing. So the number of members at the end of the day is a metrics for you. By the title, the Club Distinguished Program is also a metrics for your achievement, though it is more of PQD. However, two of the points are related to the membership. So the club growth, also the distinction, the DCP of the club is also a kind of a metrics. So the time is over, but these mainly embedded in club growth director metrics. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Sayed. Yes, so we always look at our dashboard, and dashboard tells us what are we right now. There's a lot of metrics. In the past term, they used to have like a gauge, speedometer type of a gauge. They have removed it this term, but still it shows a number, and we can calculate how we are progressing in terms of the payments made by the members. That shows that the members are sticking to the district and the clubs, or we're getting new members, or if we have new clubs, and how many clubs will be distinguished towards the second renewal period. That's when we look at those indicators as well. Now, let me, since we're talking about the growth and the strategy, let me go in order and ask DTM Mohammed Salim, during his term, how and in general also, how do you identify the growth opportunities within a district?
Thank you, Director Khalid. Actually, respected panel members, fellow Toastmasters, actually. Now, identify growth opportunities, actually, as mentioned by DTM Alka, we look into possibilities of chartering new clubs, actually. So during our term, let me acknowledge that we were slightly distinguished under leadership of DTM Khurram Salman. Now, growth strategies, again, we had put up a plan, actually. Rather, we put up a vision that we want to become at least distinguished, actually. That was our aim as a district, actually. Now, growth strategies, we looked into possibilities of chartering clubs of different communities, actually, different aspects of, platform where we can bring in new clubs, actually. That year, we had a very massive growth in terms of clubs, actually. We had brought in various clubs, even for that matter, the last club we chartered was St. Paul Toastmasters. That is one of the church club, the community club, actually. So in this, we have to look into areas where we have not explored. I can take pride that we had brought some languages club. So look into possibilities of areas where we can find new clubs, retain those, some of the clubs. Actually, we did retain some of the clubs. We approached them. That year, actually, we had brought in a program where we encourage clubs to work on the programs which are available already in Toastmasters, like YLP program, Pitchcraft program, Speaker to Trainer program. This was our strategy when approaching clubs to retain their members. So we told them to empower their members through these programs and make them leaders and let them be part of, corporation. So that year, whenever we went to corporate, that year I remember we had been to YK Al Moed and in front of the managing director, we had convinced her to start a new club with the help of the regional director that year. So look into areas wherever you feel that there could be a club and approach them, and there is surely success happening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I remember part of that growth. My home club, Bahrain IT Professionals, also came the same year, and I got a lot of comment that it just came from a surprise, but luckily still it is in the dashboard. Now let me go to Simi. It's been waiting for so long with so much of coffee sip. So DTM Khalid, we always talk about, since you're part of the corporate, we always talk in corporate that how do we align our department objective with the company objectives? And this is every year we have to go through this alignment of the objectives. Similarly, we have objectives in Toastmaster as well. So how, during your term, how did you align your goals with the Toastmaster strategies and objectives?
Okay, thank you so much, Simi.
Goal as a CGD.
Thank you so much, Didi, and amazing panelists and all of the attendees here today. Well, for me, it was very simple. I finished my division director role, and then someone somewhere whispered in my ears and said, okay, why don't you go for CGD? Which is a natural, of course, progression. So I came to CGD not expecting what am I going to do. Even on the day of the election, DTM Muna was supposed to be there and challenging me, but then she withdrew. So I came not knowing much about the role itself. And of course, thanks to DTM Alka, who I handshake with her as well for the role itself and the mentoring and guide of DTM Salim. But then my term as a CG was a little bit different. So COVID was there. And something was not really familiar with anyone. So we were trying to find our way, trying to see what we can do. And it's it's life at stake. It's not just basically Toastmasters. So looking at the KPI, and I remember DT Muhammad Salim was asking me to go and check a few districts just to compare ourselves comparatively with the others. But then down the path, I found it's not just about numbers, it's just about members. So that's where I found my personal self attached to the mission of life and not just Toastmasters. And during my term, what I did was trying to connect to each and every meeting, just to show our support as district leaders, making sure that members are seen, heard, and felt by whatever they are going through. We were at one point in time, I was accessing 3 meetings at the same time. Don't ask me why and how. And so that's where myself grew as a multitasker, as a person where I can do multiple things at the same time and connect with people. And that's where I found myself, when I connect with people. So that's basically my simple strategy. And back to you, Didi. I can see timing, inshallah. Goes
Thank you
very
very
fast.
much. I can see a great smile on the ATM say the boss face while you're giving your answer. And that will happen when 2 people are in the same club, right? So thank you very much. And I really want to talk about this. I remember when we chartered the first club, the corporate club, Garmco, Toastmasters Club. And during the demo meeting, Syed Abbas was there and he gave a speech. And he motivated everyone from his experience that how he become confused or he forgot his line. I don't want to repeat that unless he himself wants to share that later on, that he forgot about himself in the public and how that incident has motivated him to build on that confidence. And today, mashallah, he is one of the great personality. Maybe we'll have that repeated once in another session, DTM, say the boss. Now, we spoke about the strategy. That's all well and good. Now, I think our audience who are here today, they have heard something, and if they have any question, we can take all the questions during the Q&A session. Now, let's talk about the membership, recruiting members in the club. What were the strategies followed during different timing, different CGDs, and what do they see now, and how they want to advise us and recommend us. So I have put few questions, and if you want to add something on top of it, please feel free. So again, I'll go to DTM Alka, to you. In terms of the recruitment of members, in terms of technique, we always talk about different techniques out there. Everybody comes with their own ideas and all, but in your specific term as a CGD, what specific campaigns or initiative helped you to recruit new members?
Thank you, Didi, once again. My first initiative that I felt attracted quite a few members was Each One Reach One. So that's when I think this year again, I'm seeing those kind of awards where you are giving appreciation to members who are sponsoring other members. So that was the initiative that year from my side. And I felt that helped quite a bit in recruiting new members. And of course, open houses are one of my favorite mechanisms where we can attract new members from. Then recognition of these sponsors of new members during DTAC, that was the plan. However, I'll take it from DTM Khalid Abdullah when he said his term was unique. I would say that unique term started from my term when COVID suddenly hit us. So in February February of 2020, we were on track to achieve our distinguished status. But then March came and COVID came, and the plans had to be adjusted. Everything changed. We no longer could recruit many or charter new clubs. In fact, I have previously seen that most of the new clubs, or at least 5, 6, 7 clubs are chartered during the last quarter of every year. But then that year, last quarter, just saw 3 clubs.
We had the visit. We had the sandwich.
Please
She
mute
also
your-
came. Good, good.
Sorry, hello?
Sorry for the interruption. Everyone, please mute yourself. Thank you
I
very much.
already muted Dr. Ash.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So that was the disruption that year with COVID. Our 2020 plan also did not succeed because of COVID that year, but this is what life. And I still believe things like open houses, speech crafts are the ways to find new members. And of course, corporate clubs, about which I'll talk a little later. Back to you, Didi.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have beautiful programs for Toastmaster. I think I was talking to myself. Thank you very much, Riti Amalka. Yes, you absolutely said it right. Toastmasters has given us lovely programs, the open houses and speechcraft, through which we can bring more members. Of course, with the time, with the COVID, with new sort of people like me who came in, they brought in some new ideas as well. But eventually, it all boils down to the open houses and speechcraft. That's how we can bring members. The techniques could be different, but these are the programs which we use. And I remember that 2020 also attracted us to have more members through open houses and speechcraft. And that's how we learned how to conduct a speechcraft and open houses. It's not that we only do it for getting new members. Sometimes we even not get members, but we learn how to organize an event or a workshop through that exercise. Now, let me ask Sayyid this time from his era. When I say era, it doesn't mean very old, but I say this during the term. It's always an important factor of partnership. That's how you get your members, your resources. So sometimes you go yourself alone, and sometimes you go and partner with other organizations to get more members. Either you ask them to charter a club or bring their members to existing club. So during your term, was there anything where you had partnered with external organizations outside your own company and other organizations where you ask them to help you get more members?
Well, thank you for this question. I would start again with 2017, 2018 as a very, very unique term. Toastmasters is all about is the challenges, how you meet the challenges. If you look at it from so long, every trio, they have a different challenge. So I would also share DTM Alaka when she talk about very unique term. I would also raise the flag higher and I say, my term was a very, very challenging and it's very special and unique. We were covering Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar, and all of a sudden for one reason or another, we could not do our homework in Qatar. And our duty is to approach people. Now, back to your question, whether there is a partnership to recruit. Of course, without partnership in Toastmaster, you won't do anything alone. Nevertheless, if we're talking about partnership, it is not a payable partnership. However, it is a very voluntary partnership. So the good approach of any CGD club growth director will directly go to the corporate clubs where the corporate companies where the value of people, the money, and the approach, especially the HR and training manager, they are seeking this opportunity to develop their people, and you are coming for them, and you will give them, the programs is ready. So this is our approach. We build up a partnership with the companies, and we get the value of them. Unfortunately, we did not get this happen in Qatar. However, through communication, not physical visits. We manage also to do a lot of things where the other leaders in the trio are doing a great job at that time alone, but in not physical interaction. So approaching this corporate companies is one of the best and biggest, what you call the approach. Approaching also the educational institute, though they are paying for their programs, and you are coming to give them for free, especially at the time of school, and you are doing two things at once. You are promoting to have a clubs, at the same time you are promoting to have a members. So with this, I believe if we talk about it for so long, I will consume all the timing, but the approach is definitely without any partnership with the corporate clubs or with the community sectors, you will not succeed. Back to you.
Yes, it's always important to have the collaboration, be it the organization members as individual members from the organization or the organization themselves directly. And that's what the role of our current the CGD does, and current term Club Growth Affair chair is doing. So let me ask him, who's none other than DTM Khalid Abdullah, how did you engage corporate clubs or institutions to join Toastmasters?
All right, that's really a very good question and dear to my heart. I'm a
Within the-
product of a corporate club. Yeah,
Okay.
within the allocated time, inshallah. I'll try my best. Yeah, I can go for a workshop to give on this. But yeah, as I said, I'm a product of a corporate club. So I lived through a corporate. I know how the structure of a corporate is. And at some point in time, I didn't know that there are any other club other than Babco in Bahrain. So that's how much I was attached to the corporate club. But fast forward, during my term as CGD, that's when I thought I would be able to use my corporate skills in finding an opportunity to charter a club. And that's when I chartered the first club for university students. So picking on what DTM said, Abbas said, that's the first club that came in during COVID, during that term. But another club that I honestly started just as an experiment. So I went because I'm associated with Injaz Bahrain, which is basically a global organization, another non-profit organization, which belongs to Junior Achievement Worldwide. So I spoke to the CEO of that entity and I said, all right, I think I have just an experiment I want to have. So you focus on youth and you have also the growth of youth, and it's a development platform, and we have Toastmasters. So why don't we marry both of them together and just see what would happen? And that's when Injaz Bahrain came in. So when Injaz Bahrain came in, it was supposed to be an experiment only, online. So it's an online club. And I remember the first meeting I had, the hunger within the Injaz Bahrain members, when I did the elections, that was very weird elections. So 7 in each of the officers' role come in to participate to become an officer. That's the hunger that they have in Injaz Bahrain. And fast forward from that time, looking at how the club grew into 2 clubs right now with 50 plus members, that's basically the extent of what's grown as an experiment to something that is right now tangible, and we have many leaders coming out of this club. That's my experience. Thank you.
Although the time ended for this particular question, but I'm happy that the marriage which you talked about still exists, and they are in good terms with each other. And yes, so you have Toastmaster when you have the youth, when you give them that program, and on top of them, if you mentor them properly, they will see the benefit. Just giving them that program without mentoring, without hand-holding, they will be lost, and definitely they'll lose the interest and they will not know where to head, and then they will run away and the club will not continue. So again, we come back to the initial story of the tap. So the fluid is flowing and the members will leave. So we don't want that to happen. A slightly twist question to TTM Muhammad Salim here. We talked about the member, the engagement with organizations, We also touched base about the marriage in between for the clubs and the programs to bring that unity. One thing which is left out in this whole thing is, was social media leverage at the time to reach out to a larger crowd and to increase the number of members in the clubs?
Thank you, Didi. Social media, yes, indeed, it plays a huge role. But in Toastmasters, I think social media has a very limited impact. I could say that because we are connected to people not through social media, but through one-on-one. Whereas we reach out through the hierarchy, where to division directors and area directors. Social media plays an important role when you need to convey the message to the members actually where they are glued to it. For example, our membership building programs are not being promoted. That's what in my opinion actually, whereas there should be a competition or a opportunity to promote it in an extensive way in terms of through posters in social media. That's where it can be reached out actually. But again, I believe that it is through the network of what we have, and that will make a greater impact actually. Empowering your leaders as division and area directors will make a huge impact actually, rather than going through social media. I don't think social media would bring in members actually. It might convey the message, but in terms of club growth or membership building actually, this is a personal touch which we need to have it actually. I doubt actually if I had posted a poster and expected somebody to call me to charter a club. We rather indeed we had visited clubs, we had visited communities to ensure that we explain in person rather than. I believe I remember we had visited St. Paul with DTM Khalid Abdullah. I remember that time the way we convinced the pastor over there to start a new club. That was we had closed the deal during that time. So social media has very little impact. It's not a corporation or corporation where you can convey the message. It is an one-on-one personal touch. You need to invite members. You need to reach out to the members. That is the only way we can do it. Yes, social media has a very little impact, but not what we have in terms of personal touch. Thank you.
Well, of course, personal touch is personal touch, and there's no plan B to that. But whenever we talk about social media, because I come from the IT background, so I slightly differ from what you have said. I respect and agree with what you said, but I think everyone has some different experiences. So when it comes to social media, especially the LinkedIn, I think I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, and we have seen, Abdullah will maybe talk about it later on, how it has helped the district to get more clubs and more members during the COVID period, especially. And we're still using LinkedIn to reach out to individuals, but through social media, making people aware, targeting one-to-one and the larger crowd altogether, and try to get more members to know about Toastmaster and to join Toastmaster. Now let's talk about the chartering of the clubs. We talked about social media, we talked about partnership, it's about the members. Now we talk about the clubs chartering. Now I go back to you, DTM Mohammed Salim, since you already spoke about the social media and the different techniques of chartering clubs. You gave some examples. What were the most effective techniques you have used during the time to charter clubs? And let's see whether those techniques are still effective today. So all our audience who are hearing us, whether they can follow these techniques. We need clubs as well.
Most of the times when we hear there's a lead, we have a lead management system from the Toastmaster International. Plus, I had maintained my own lead management software, a Excel sheet to identify corporate clubs. Wherever we find a lead, we reach out to them. The only mistake what we do is that whenever we get a lead, we jump in and we try to promote the Toastmasters and expect the club to charter. That is not the case actually. I had attended the 2018 convention where they had put in a why factor. Why this corporate needs a club. If you put in a why factor in all the aspects of your life, they'll be much meaningful. Similarly, in Toastmasters, we put a why factor. Why a club, why a company or a community should charter a club. That's the year I had coined a term called VAT. because in Bahrain we had there was VAT introduced, value added tax, whereas I coined a term called value added Toastmasters. How much you put in as a value into Toastmasters. In this context, when we went to each of the companies, rather than telling them why you should have a Toastmasters, we asked them, why do you need Toastmasters? Do you really need a Toastmasters club? Because what happens is that in a company, there are, say, 3,000 employees, like maybe more in terms of BAPCO. When we go and tell them that we need 20 members, what about the rest of the members actually? So what factor we had included as the value added is that these 20 members, how are they going to contribute to the organization, to the growth of the organization by empowering others also? That's when we make value for Toastmasters actually. So in this, we need to mention wherever we go to companies, telling them why you need Toastmasters and what will these Toastmasters make an impact in your organization. That we fail to tell them actually. We tell them, oh, these individuals will grow. Individuals will grow in a community club also. When it comes to corporate club, if you want the company to be convinced, actually, you have to mention what huge difference these 20 members or say 25 members will bring in your organization, in the growth of the organization and development of the organization. If we bring in these changes, if we in the strategy, I'm sure we can have more corporate clubs. I believe in India we have more corporate clubs. Similarly, in Bahrain, every corporate can come into Toastmasters only by identifying the Y factor. I think I've taken a little bit of time, but thank you very much.
By any chance, did you take that VAT factor to Ministry of Finance at that time?
Sorry?
By any chance, did you take that concept to Ministry of Finance as well?
Ministry of Finance or Ministry of
Yeah,
Interior?
because that's why they impose VAT on all of us.
Yeah. No, maybe we can, try with Ministry of Interior, but for that, we need to be an inmate for a couple of months actually, wherein we can start a couple of Toastmasters club in the prisons. For your information, there are some Toastmasters club in prison in US actually. So if anybody
It
gets
was
an
actually,
opportunity, we
it
can.
was one of the discussion. It was one of the discussion I was having when I was, I think, division director at the time, and or a CGD, and we are talking as Toastmaster members. We're talking about why not approach the prisons, because they are sitting in the prison. They may have enough time. I don't know what they do there, but I'm sure they will have some time, 2 hours to spend in a scheduled manner and benefit from it, because imprisonment is not for life for everybody. It's for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. They can benefit from it, just like they play a lot of sports while they're in the jail, or they do a lot of other skill work. They learn a lot. Why not Toastmasters? But when my term ended, the idea got stopped there. Now let me take this further to say the boss this time. We're changing the order a little bit so other people can have some more coffee. But Sid, how did you identify the communities or sectors for new clubs? We talked about corporates, we talked about church, we talked about universities. So how did you identify these during your term? I mean, did you have any criteria to follow?
Yeah, I would say if you really want to succeed in things, talk about it day and night. And before you talk about it day and night, you must love it and you must really fall in love with it. And as a club growth director, you are again not alone, because there is a club retention officer, and there is a lot of help among the team. So basically, if you keep talking about Toastmasters, others will hear Toastmasters, and the result is a huge. As a club growth director, also it is your approach to expand the district with chartering clubs, opening clubs. So, but how you will approach, how your approach will be. So during my term, or which I in between a bracket is very challenging, is again we go for data analysis, where we need to have more. Where is the, among the 3 countries, more growth could be. And we identified that in Qatar at that time, the growth is higher. So the approach is the data analysis, plus when you go to the community engagement, we keep talking about it. You keep attending the events, and you give speeches over there, and you give examples, you give a testimonial, and people from the community see the product of Toastmasters, which you are talking about it, and you bring the success stories, and I emphasize on success stories, especially the beginning. DTM Khalid have talked about success stories. I am one of the members who are benefited from the fall on the stage, and this does not take me to get out of Toastmaster. However, it gets me to go dive in deeper in Toastmasters. When you are expanding this experience to the community, I'm sure many others will take it as a challenges and will go and fight to be part of Toastmasters. So to brief and just answer your question, first of all, you have the data, you analyze where's the growth, and then you engage with the community, bring up a very successful story. I am sure when you love things, you will put all your efforts in and you will succeed to bring it back to the.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sayed. So the idea is to love what you do and do what you love and spread the message to all the communities possible. So something will click at some time. I know we are going through the questions, but let me recognize the presence of our past international director, who's also with us, our immediate past district director, Division B director, and also my peer district director all the way from India, DTM Sushil Power. Welcome to this meeting, everyone. Let's move forward. Let me ask our DTM Alka this time. I think I'll go to you, DTM Khalid, because we've been having ladies first, and we'll have the ladies at the last for this segment for chartering clubs.
Gender equality, I don't mind.
So being responsible for the corporate clubs and being part of the corporate clubs, and as you said about yourself, you are a corporate product. How did you when you were a CGD, how did you train and supported the sponsor and the mentors to be ready for the clubs and the members support?
That's a really good question. And I think before tackling this, talking about the know-how of how to charter a club, that's something that is really, really important. I was speaking that day with...
They also need to know how club is chartered, because
exactly
they're running as a mentor.
Exactly. So I was speaking with our immediate past district director that day, and he said, okay, I have another lead. And I said, DT Yasser, it's good, but let's just can we maybe get people also with us just to witness all of this? And that's basically what I was basically looking at that time. How can we empower more people? Of course, sponsors and mentors are important. They need to be equipped with the training. And that time at PQD, with the guidance of DTM Salim, we already had multiple sessions to have more sponsors and mentors as well and handhold them. But the actual role on who or to be recognized, of course, sponsors and mentors would be recognized, but the directors, area director is very important. And during the district officer training, if they would not know that they are supposed to build new clubs and not just only support all clubs, that's where honestly the dent happens. So it's on the directors to get those who would be, for example, near to get DTMs or something that would be in it for them to be sponsors or mentors. And that's basically what we did. So we focus on those who needs their DTM or needs the credit, and then train them, prepare them, but at the same time not hold, but at least make sure that the area director is aware of his or her own responsibility. So that's basically the focus at that time. And mindful of
I
time.
think,
Back to you.
I think you touched a very important point here, Khalid, because sometimes what happens is we say, okay, fine, okay, who needs a DTM? You come and become the club mentor and you get the credit and you become a DTM. But they don't know what is the importance of taking the role, because they are going to impact the life and the finance which they, in each and every 20 members of the club, they have spent their investment is all going to be waste if they don't know what to do. To train the mentors, they should be ready. They should be accepting the challenge that yes, they are here to support the member, they're here to support the club. And with that intention, to go and take the role of the mentor in the club. And of course, they will be supported and guided by the other seniors. And if they're ready, then only they should be given the opportunity. But if you see they are not ready, it's only there to low-hanging fruits, just let me become a mentor and help me, I think that will damage the clubs and the members, and the whole district will be affected. Very well highlighted. Now we'll go to our TTM Alka. Challenges everywhere, right? You had the biggest challenge in your term, and every CGD in this of their time who are on the screen right now, they say their term was the most challenging. And I say also my term as CGD was the most challenging because I was coming out of the COVID at the time. But however, what challenges you faced or you think that anyone can face while chartering clubs?
Thank you, Didi, once again.
And a solution, if you can add a solution to that challenge as well, that will be great for our audience.
Right. Now, everybody, all my co-panelists have spoken about the corporate clubs. What I found at that particular time, quite a few, and in fact, to tell you the truth, as DTM Khalid Abdullah said, BAPCO was my first initiation or introduction to a corporate club. And it was so impressive for me because I had just joined Toastmaster at that point of time in Bahrain. And I was part of Area 36 that time. And the Area 36 contest was held in BAPCO Club. I was so impressed that a corporate club had so much to offer. And that was the reason why I thought corporate clubs are a good way to tap into the available new recruits into Toastmasters. But that particular year when I became the club growth director, I found quite a few corporate clubs were fumbling. In fact, KNPC here, or there was the Sims School Club in Kuwait, Agility, they were all struggling. We kept on doing demo meetings, but it was not working out. But then we thought we should perhaps approach it in a different manner. So we started finding our contacts in networks into the senior management. And that's how we could start two corporate clubs in GTC at that particular time. We started two clubs in ICS, Indian Central School, and there was another one or two more corporate clubs. That was one challenge. Second was, I think we were just transitioning into pathways at that time. 2018, it had been rolled out. But in coordination with the PQD team, then we tried to overcome that challenge by having lots of pathways workshops and awards for 100% enrollment, all those things we tried to overcome. And of course, the biggest challenge, as I mentioned before, was COVID, which was not pre-planned, we did not have any ready plan. We just had to adjust, and we lost quite a few members due to COVID. And I don't think we could overcome that in that year. Next years, we became better and we made more plans. Back to you.
Yeah, there's always challenges, but that's what we are as a leader have to come up, discuss with each other, take the opinion, and come with a solution to overcome those challenges and move forward for betterment. Now, Didi Malka, since you're already talking about the challenges of chartering club, one of the challenges also the funding or the finances of chartering a club. Now, I know it is very difficult for individuals to pay money from the pocket depending on what type of jobs they do, but there's a lot of interest they have about Toastmaster Club, and they can't get enough members to pay enough to charter the club. Sometimes the corporates also say, okay, we will give the name, but we will not fund the club. So, what sort of funding techniques or sponsorships which you uh, have experienced during your term as a CGD, or if there's anything which you still want to share with our audience?
Thank you. Yeah, that particular time, I feel corporate clubs, when we charter corporate clubs, we in fact have a solution to funding as well. Not only funding, so first of all, we get members through corporate clubs, we get venues through corporate clubs, and we also get sponsorships. So in Kuwait, that particular time, even in Bahrain, I saw lots of corporates were doing those sponsorships for district, area, division events. Now, when it comes to clubs, we don't find a lot of sponsorships. So I think the funding that can be done is through again, my favorites, open houses, speech crafts, youth leadership programs. I think those are the programs that are already built by Toastmasters, and they are wonderful programs if we are able to find the right people, the right timing. They are a source of clubs needs very small funds. So we can get that kind of funding from these events. And when it comes to chartering of new clubs, we require a lot of funding, perhaps for demo meetings and all, if it's not a corporate club. So I guess their district has been reimbursing the expenses. So that's a good support from the district level. And I feel this kind of support for open houses, if the area is doing open houses, during my term, I saw at least 5 areas doing big open houses, especially in places like universities, where you get a lot of students, you get a good venue. So those were a successful kind of, even though it was not plain funding, but they do fulfill the requirement for funds in terms of venues and
Indirect funding.
flyers. You don't have to spend too much on marketing and flyers. I don't see the timer giving me a green card also.
You'll be
So
enjoying the ideas.
I think he's
You have
enjoying the
wasta.
answer. Everybody is
Enjoying
enjoying
the
the
idea.
answer. But I think my 2 minutes are over. So I'll give it back
This
to
is
you.
the effect of ladies first.
So we've been hearing about your favorite again and again. In the start of the meeting, we heard about the open houses in between, and again you brought the idea of open houses. So definitely, there's something I think everyone should consider, and we encourage all the clubs to come forward, conduct open houses. Irrespective, I think they are successful to the way they expected. But unless you do it, you will not know how you're succeeding. Failure is not a shame. Failure is a step to say where you are and how you can go to the next level. If an open house fails, no member comes, at least your Toastmaster members are there. At least they learn something new from you. Somebody might bring another guest next open house which you conduct, and slowly you will also gain that experience which you can use it in your leadership skills in the future. Sayed, since you adjusted your glasses, now you can see me very well. So let me ask you a question now. As a CGD, like Didi Malka just mentioned that district have some funds to be allocated for open houses or other activities. As a CGD, you are given some funds to utilize. As a CGD, how did you manage your funds given to you by the district for the club growth?
Well, DTM Khalid, money is the most difficult part to handle, by the way. It's very difficult, though it shows that it is easy, but the controller of the money, the finance manager, is the most headache business. Nevertheless, as I start with my speech, the beauty of Toastmasters International is they gave you the roadmap in such a way that you will not, struggle. It's not fully asphalted, however, it is the roadmap is already there for each and an individual task. And I recall in my term as well, with the help of DTM Ali Shahbaz, I think we start to finalize or put our ideas on the SOP, the standard operating procedure, where you will know, every individual will know what you are exactly doing. So in terms of the budget, and every beginning of the year, the financial and all the finance manager and all the district treasurers, they will get the budget aligned and approved. And when it is approved, then it will be very clearly presented to all district officers. And from this point, you know exactly what is your budget and what's your limit, and here how to control. Nevertheless, as a leader, you always have a bucket, full. It's for, contingency plan. And also you have a strategic planning to go for sponsorship. And in our District 20, they love to sponsor, as DT Malaka been said, in Bahrain, the benefit of corporate clubs are, they are the what you call source of success for the district level events. So the challenges is always there in financial. However, having a strategic budget planning, in additional to have a target of what you call right use for this budget, and being very transparent. And in Toastmasters, the financial is a very, very transparent process. And I believe with maximizing the value of corporate club for sponsoring the big or the mega events, and definitely you will succeed and control your budget, even without putting your hands on your personal budget. The main idea, I know I'm over time, but the main idea here is to your goals as club growth director in the financial, to ensure that every dinar or every dollar being used or being contributed directly to the club growth, seriously using the membership experience as well, with a very much transparency. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Sayed. Yeah, transparency is important to be very much aligned with the district finance manager, and he is very strict about the funds. Whatever is approved by the World Headquarters, only that has to be released, and not just spend the money because the money is available, but spend it for the benefit of the district, for the members, for the club, and the growth and the retention. Now, let me take one more question on the funding and the financial aspects which you're talking about from DTM Mohammed Salim. You have performed multiple roles, and especially the CGD and above. What were some creative ideas or ways which were used, which you have seen they were used to fund for the club activities, so that our members from the clubs, they can maybe follow the same ideas and the techniques, they will use them? You're mute, DTM Mohammed Salim.
Dear Didi, I don't think there are enough funds to support the clubs in terms of finance actually, because number one rule says that we cannot pay the membership fees of any individual in Toastmasters. But we don't have much of resources to the clubs, whereas we have for the division and the district. But the recognition program plays a very important role. But moreover, the promoting of the recognition program is much more important. We need to understand that the recognition to the clubs, okay, even when they bring in guests or they add members, the recognition, they don't ask for funds in terms of monetary cash benefit, whereas they expect something in return in terms of a ribbon or some sort of a thing which they can carry back from the DTAC. So these are the things where we can spend enough funds so that these recognitions are being given to members or the clubs so that they can showcase them actually. So this is where we have to bring those, because we announce the awards most of the time, but those announcements are not being reached to the clubs itself. Many of the clubs are not aware of those awards. So what happens is that it's not funded properly. So we need to ensure that each club is aware of the program, what a club can achieve, what a member can achieve, and only through these type of incentives we can make sure the clubs benefit out of it, rather than we can't give them cash incentives. And these rewards are to be promoted in such a manner that it reaches actually, because most of the time we rely on the division and the area directors, but it doesn't reach to them. Many of the clubs even today are not aware what are the awards for the clubs, what are the member awards. We need to utilize these funds to reach out to the members and clubs so that they benefit out of it. Thank you, timer, for not timing me.
He is timing actually. He has already mentioned that we have reached the time limit. I have more questions about the mentor membership, the mini mentor concept. So I'll take one question and then we'll open the Q&A sessions in the interest of the time. There was a concept in our District 20, mini mentor. Now I leave it to anyone who wants to answer this. Mini mentor, I know that I was part of the mini mentor program and I got the small pin. I'm so excited about it. What is mini mentor for? So that our members know about it. Who wants to take it? Raise your hand.
I think Director Khalid, if it was, I had created a passport actually, mini mentor program passport. It was a physical thing.
Mini
And
mentor. Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
yeah, we had
I remember the name mini mentor. Maybe there was a
mini
passport.
mentor program. We did start a mini mentor program to support clubs. That was a very good initiative. I think 7 members qualified for the mini mentor program in the year 2018 when I was the club growth director. That was, I would like to give, not take credit for me actually. I would like to give the credit to DTM Khurram Salman, who was being bit of nagging me, like what DTM Khalid mentioned now. He was a bit nagging about the mini mentor program, and that program was really successful. That is what we need to have visionary leaders who are there. No matter Khurram was the youngest district director, but he carried a vision. He had carried many thoughts to be implemented within the district, and mini mentor was one of his brainchild, and he had brought in, and it was quite successful. And how successful it was, like we had created a passport and we had given some sort of an award. So let's encourage programs which are already existing, like mini mentor program, and to reach out to the clubs. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now let's hear from DTM Khalid. He raised his hand.
I think I remember this vividly. Now, it's just my memory doesn't tell me who was the CGD at that time when the mini mentor was there. I think, was it DTM Alka or DTM Salim? Honestly, I don't remember. But I remember you coming in St. Paul. So St. Paul, we chartered the club earlier, and then the mini mentor was targeting clubs between 12 to 18, maybe that number, or 20, I don't recall very specifically. So the coaching is, of course, the zone for the coaching is 12 and below. So that mini mentor is targeting clubs with 12 and above and below 20. And for the mini mentor, the criteria was for the mini mentor to get the club to 20 members and then get the club to be distinguished. So that's basically the logic behind the mini mentor, and it was only a pen. And yeah, I remember you were one of those lucky winners of the mini mentor at that time, supporting St. Paul, and that's when we both became the mentors of the club for some time. St. Paul, yeah.
Right. I think it's a good idea. If the clubs want to go ahead with that, it's a good idea. I encourage it personally. Is to support the clubs who are even having more than 12 members. Now let's open the floor to our members. If anybody has any question, please raise your hand so that we can recognize you and take your question. Anyone has any question? I see one hand raised, Pitambaran Nair. Yeah, please go ahead. You're already unmuted, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much, Didi, and wonderful panelists for this enriching knowledge sharing session, or rather experience from your own time and how it had been, how it is, all these things. Now, my question specifically goes in a way like for all of you, we often sometime when we take up a leadership role, we come up with, okay, I am having a plan to do something, and which get by the time the year is over, your complete plan is not implemented. When your successor come, whether he may or may not like the program, and there could be, I'm not saying there is a discontinuation, there could be a discontinuation of such programs. So from your experience, did any of you had such programs in mind which didn't go to the full extent you were wishing to, which you have to leave halfway because of the term is completed, or that the next your successor was not taking up that level which you were seeing it as an intensified program or something of that sort? Was there anything of that sort from your tribe
Yes,
to all the
yes,
panelists?
yeah, thank you, Vivi. I'll take this as a program. I don't think when we have put a program that we did not complete and leave it there, because we always have a district's calendar. We put all our programs over there. But yeah, there may be some of the activities which may not have been done due to the time, or something or got cancelled because of certain situation. But taking it to the next term, and the next term officers continuing that program, everyone comes with their own programs. And personally, what I feel is, if the program is good, we should take it to the next term and continue. So we started the Creative Speakers program last term. We have the uh, some other programs, and we are encouraging that even this term. So we are taking it to the next level. So I'll leave it other panelists to talk about it from their experience. GTM, say the boss. We'll go with the oldest. We'll come to the youngest.
I would give the I would give the opportunity for DTM Khalid, otherwise I'll be ended up with something on Friday or Saturday. Anyway, I will keep talking about the beauty of Toastmaster organization, how it does manage all the program from all the member, from member, newcomer, till the highest level. So the path is very clear, and during your term, yearly term, you are bounded with vision and objectives in all parties, whether it is a club growth, educational program, finance, and all the programs. So there is no such a handover for next term to continue. However, you are putting the beginning, you put the calendar, district, especially at the district level, you put the calendar, and you make the efforts to follow strictly to achieve these objectives. And of course, how you measure the objectives is straight from the club level to the area, to the division, and finally to the district. And this kind of follow up on a target is on regular basis, day and nights, and you put a lot of promotional programs to achieve. So I never seen that there is something handover to next leaders, except what being called is again, it's club reorganizations. Other than that, I could not see any handover from my own experience. Back to you, Khalid.
Did you see it? Anybody else wants to share their experience? Yeah, DT Malka.
Yeah, thank you. As everyone said, yes, each term and each person is different, and they have their own vision, and it's always better to try a new strategy, even if the old one is working well. You can continue that, and in addition, you can have a new strategy a new vision that you feel might be good for the district. For example, when COVID hit us, we had to change our strategy. We went to online meetings, and the awards dates were they had to be extended. So that kind of things comes. Same for social media. Like somebody you had asked earlier, that question. That time Instagram was not that popular, but now Instagram is popular. So even when we did in my term, we did an online open house. That was perhaps the biggest online open house, and DTM Khalid Abdullah, he was in my team. He was one of the most important part of my team. And we had hired or requested an Instagram influencer to come in and help us do that open house. So these are various ideas or suggestions that can just build on whatever programs are already there in the Toastmasters. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Alka. Any other question from the audience? DTM Khalid, you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to add two things. So
Yeah,
related to the same question, just to add to the amazing panelists here. So the first one is, of course, everyone would come to the role, would have his or her own way of doing things. So it doesn't mean that they would not be taking whatever you did. It means that whatever you did is not working. That's just one thing that I would like to have. And of course, what we needed to have as well is strategic planning. So when I was the DD at that time and DTM Khurram was the strategic planning chair, we had a corporate club support idea. So the corporate club support idea or chair came through that term. And I was really happy that this is still alive. So that idea is being implemented over the terms. On the other side, I would also cautious all of the leaders who are coming in. You would be there for one term, but during the transition, many of us would still be attached to the previous role. And this is something that you need to also slowly detach and leave the person as well do his or her own way and not just basically enforcing yourself under the cap of mentoring or whatever. So there's that small distinction between, yeah, I would love to have my ideas being implemented, but at the same time, you need to also have that autonomy and empowerment to the person in the chair.
exactly. Thank you, DTM Khalid. Now let me see if any other question is there before we go to the next phase. Going 1, 2. Yes, DTM Mohammed.
Yeah, just to add to this question which has been asked here actually regarding the initiatives taken by one term and not being implemented or not the legacy not being continued. There's nothing as such as a new initiative which is all there in Toastmasters. What we do is we repack it, like we just put a new label to it, what it is existing. For example, what we have the VAT, it's nothing new, it's value added Toastmasters. I just combine all three programs together and just brought in a new package. That's a marketing strategy, I could say, but nothing new as such. Now talking about Step Out, Speak Out. When I was at PQT, there was an initiative called Step Out, Speak Out, where we did a lot of community initiative, and I believe you were part of one of the initiatives where we did the beach cleaning program. Though you had put all in the effort, I as in PQT took some credit out of it. Similarly, we did a marathon program and we did a lot of other programs, but these are all within the framework of Toastmasters. We are not reinventing the wheel here. What we are trying to do is that, just put in a new label, and not necessarily that label has to continue. Every leader who comes in can put in their own label to whatever existing programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think with this, we are out of the question part. I just want to make a small announcement very quickly before I invite our admin manager for his role. We will be continuing this Coffee with KJ series again on next month, 30th. We'll have one more session, and that will be very interesting, and that will be very important. I'll be announcing it shortly, but be ready. On 30/10, we'll have one more series of the same. And there you will see the past. Let me announce it. You'll see the past district directors who brought the district to the distinguished and above level, and they will be part of the panel. And again, they will be grilled with so much of coffee, and you can have all your questions asked as well. Thank you very much. And let me pass the control to our admin manager for the certificate presentation. Thank you,
Thank you very
panel.
much. Good evening to everyone, one and all again. What an enlightening and truly inspiring panel discussion we have just experienced on behalf of District 20 and everyone present here today. It is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. First and foremost, let us express our heartfelt gratitude to our panel moderator, District 20 Director, DTM Khalid Jalal. Thank you for skillfully guiding today's discussion with such clarity, balance, and a touch of the humor. You made sure our panel followed smoothly and that no one exceeded their growth time limit. After hearing all the wisdom from our past club growth directors, I have realized one thing: in District 20, TTMs don't just mean distinguished Toastmaster. It also means don't tell me to stop talking, because they have huge the knowledge of to share with us. A big round of applause and appreciation goes to our distinguished panelists, DTM Saeed Abbas, DTM Alka Kumra, DTM Muhammad Salim, and DTM Khalid Abdullah, for sharing practical strategy on vision and planning. You made us realize the growth is not the luck, it is the leadership in action. For showing us how to retention and mentoring are not the just technique, but acts of the care that build a strong club. And also for enlightening us on funding and financial management. You proved once again that budgeting in Toastmasters is an art, not just math. For highlighting the magic of the open houses, speechcraft, you reminded us that sometimes all it takes is one open house to open 100 doors. Each of you brought not just the knowledge, but also the experience, passion, and story that we will carry back to our clubs. Truly, you turned today's session into a master class on growth. I also would like to thank our audience, yes, all of you, because your earnest attention and engagement made this discussion meaningful. After all, a panel without an audience is like a club without members. It just doesn't work. Finally, to the organizers, role players, and the team working behind this scene, thank you for making this event possible and seamless. And as our district director already announced, the next session of the next 30th of the month will be continue with the other dignitaries. With that, let us carry forward the wisdom we gained today, apply in our clubs, and ensure that District 20 continue to grow, thrive, and inspire. And thank you once again to our moderator, our esteemed panelists, and to all of you. We have some small token of appreciation in the form of the certificate. So I would request to Didi, I will share the certificate and you can share your few words to the panelist. Let me give a second.
Thank you. Are you displaying the certificate? Yeah.
Yes. So
can you put it to the play mode? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
DTM Saeed Abbas, thank you very much for your support, participation, and sharing your experience with all of us with a lot of humor you brought in. And thank you for bringing your coffee with you as well. Thanks a lot. And we look forward to inviting you for future events so that you are with us throughout the term as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I shall thank you for this golden opportunity, despite my very hectic schedule. Yet I thought it's a good opportunity to meet everybody and bring back my history, our challenges, and the stepping stones for the Toastmasters. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I know you have missed your some football matches going on, but thank you for being here with us. Thank you very much, DTM Alka Kumra. I mean, I consider you as my mentor, and I've been telling this always. When I was area director, I've been approaching you day and night with WhatsApp messages to help me. What is the answer? How we can do this? Or what plan I can make? You've been guiding me so helpful, and today again, you're part of the panel member, and you're sharing your experience, enlightening us with all the ideas, strategies, challenges. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for making me a part of it. It's an honor, and you have been a wonderful mentee.
Thank you so much. DTM Mohammed Salim, we all love you for the efforts you have put for the district, for the members, for the young leaders who are coming up, and especially giving your time. I know you've been traveling, but despite that, you've given all your time for us to benefit from the knowledge and the experience. Really, really thank you for being with us and sharing your knowledge and experience with us today. ATM Khalid Abdullah, I'll make sure everyone knows you are Khalid Abdullah and Khalid Jalal now, so that they don't take the certificate and send it to me again saying that this came to us by mistake, just like the email in the past. But thank you very much for being here. And when I approached all of you, indeed, and none of you said, no, I'm busy. Everyone said, yes, we are there for you. And you accepted the request. And I'm so happy and blessed that all of you are here today. Thank you very much, DTM Abdullah. And thank you very much, all of you, for being here. Special thanks to our admin manager as well. I think we don't have a certificate for him, maybe. But special thanks for our admin manager who, despite being so much busy between the work and home and also doing a lot of other activities for the district, is here and managing and supporting. And all the members who were here and who left, and all the dignitaries, thank you very much for being here. Thanks to our IPDD, despite being, I think, work day and busy, he still gave his time to us. Special thanks to my mentor, DTM Hisham Jifri, despite being far away from us, but he is with us virtually today. I'm so happy. And I told him I'm very nervous because my mentor is in this meeting. I don't know how I'll perform, but I'll get my evaluation later on, which will be very tough. I will not be sharing it with anyone so that I can improve more and more and more. And everyone who's here in this meeting, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. With this, let's conclude the meeting and see you all again on